Hey everyone, it's Allie, and today it's the start of my Last Epoch coverage on anything and everything that's coming in Season 2. Now, while we might be pretty far away from it launching, as we are still 11 days away with Season 2 launching on April 17th, we are going to get the patch notes on the 11th, and with the news post that was available to look at yesterday, we are starting to get some glimpses into some of the core features that are coming for Season 2. Now, you might be asking, what about PoE? Is PoE going anywhere? And I'll still be playing PoE in the background, and we're going to be playing on stream, but it is most certainly time to start discussing everything coming. If you don't know anything about Last Epoch Season 2, this season is going to be massive, and we are going to have quite a lot of changes from quality of life to massive reworks of classes to a stupid amount of endgame, and I am extremely looking forward to it. As my god, realistically, the only complaint I can have about the game is it just needs more and more endgame, and honestly, it looks like they're going to be delivering. So, with today's video, we're going to be discussing the Woven faction, which is going to be one of the core portions of the endgame changes that are coming. The Woven faction is going to be its own thing, just like how the Forgotten were in Season 1, where it's going to be a faction you're going to be able to progress as you progress to the endgame. Now, to start off your adventure with the Woven, you're going to be interacting it primarily through two different means. First, you're going to have Tombs of the Erased, and second, you're going to have Cemeteries of the Erased. Tombs are going to be a side zone that you'll be able to encounter in any echo that you go and do, which is Last Epoch's version of maps, and inside of them there'll be buffed up monsters that you can fight, and eventually at the end of it there'll be a mini boss for you to fight, which is going to drop a bunch of amber. You're also going to be able to find cemeteries, which are their own separate zone that you'll be able to encounter on the echo web itself, which is going to basically be a tomb that is substantially harder with a big mini boss at the end, which presumably is going to drop you even more amber. This amber will then be used with the new Weaver vendor to be able to purchase echoes they can then slot into your echo web to, well, basically create your own map. The interesting thing about these is that they're going to give you different rewards ranging from 2 unique bosses to fight with their own loot table. Tiles are going to have champion mobs, which is a new thing coming to Endgame Last Epoch, which is basically buffed up rares that give you a lot of extra loots, which have their own unique set of loots that's going to be useful for crafting. Tiles that give you specific different rewards, and the thing I'm most interested in personally, which I think is going to make a massive difference when it comes to Endgame, is going to specifically be new tiles that are going to change and alter and buff all the zones around it, meaning that you can now effectively juice your echo web to gain substantially more rewards. Personally, I feel like this by itself, if done really well, is most likely going to be a pretty massive change to the endgame. So I'm really hoping the 36 new tiles that you're going to be able to purchase, that a lot of them are going to specifically be these buffing ones to give us quite a lot of different options in terms of modifying the content that we do. I am a big fan of ARPGs allowing you to make the content more difficult whenever you want to, while at the same time make it more rewarding. And if they manage to do exactly that with this, I'm personally going to be very, very happy. Now, to go along with this, we are also going to get, well, the whole Weaver faction. It's not just going to be the vendor where you're going to be able to purchase these tiles from. The faction itself will also give you access to the Weaver tree, which is going to be a new set of passives that you're going to be able to allocate. They're going to give you extra loots and extra buffs to all endgame activities that you do. These can range from allowing you to see more of a specific mechanic throughout your echoes, or to increase the chance of certain loot types to happen, or to increase the overall rewards that you see. So basically, the more you progress through the Woven, the more you're going to be able to juice pretty much all content you do to just make it more rewarding. The other really interesting thing here is that there are going to be 3 new slots that you'll be able to access on this passive tree that will allow you to put an item inside of it, which will then make it more likely that that item is going to drop. What I'm really curious about here is, what if you put in a unique item? Does that then make it so that unique item is more common, which would be really interesting because, well, that would allow you to target farm uniques even better, which is honestly pretty damn cool. Realistically, the only thing that crafting / the gearing aspect in Last Epoch would really need is just more player agency in terms of being able to do whatever you want to in terms of target farming things. And well, this basically gives you exactly that. Do you need more exiled mages because you're trying to get some sort of experimental item going? Well, there you go. You can now specifically get more exiled mages. Do you want to see more champions because you want a mod from the new champion pool? Well, buff those up and get more of those. Do you just want to get more gold? Well, presumably there's going to be some gold nodes on the tree that is going to allow you to do exactly that. I'm excited about this, as this isn't the whole of the endgame changes that are coming in Season 2, and it's literally just a seasonal mechanic that is going to be added onto the game as a permanent feature. The cool thing here about this is, well, they can always expand the tree later to add more content as more new things come out. So over time, this should hopefully give you more and more and more agency over exactly what happens in your game. I'm pretty excited about all this, and I feel like all this is going to come together pretty well. So this should be really exciting to see how exactly all this melts together with all the other changes that are coming. Now, that's not everything that Woven is going to give us. The final thing here, which in my opinion is a little bit minor, but I kind of like that this is being added into the game, given that this piece of content has not received any changes in quite a while, is going to be that at the end of these tombs, and the Cemeteries, you're going to get access to the idol reroller. Here, you're going to be able to put your idols inside of Enchanter, and it's going to give you a random Weaver modifier on top of your idol, effectively just being free power creep for all idols. Seems that these stats are going to be very minor, so it's not like your character is going to become disproportionately more overpowered, but I like that they're doing something for idols, which makes you think about them a little bit more and makes you want to interact with them a little bit more, other than it basically being the last thing you min-max in your character. I'm really curious to see what the Weaver mods are going to be. I'm kind of expecting them to be able to pull mods from other idol bases, which might be really interesting. At that point, that wouldn't necessarily be just power creep, but also just be a whole new way of putting together builds. That is pretty much everything that we need to discuss when it comes to Weaver. There is going to be a lot more coming, and tomorrow's news post, we're going to get all the other details that we need to know about every other change coming Endgame and Last Epoch. So it's going to be exciting to be able to tie all the Weaver content into all the other Endgame content to see the full picture of everything coming in Season 2. If you have any questions on anything we discussed here, feel free to leave a comment in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to discuss any of this with you or answer any of your questions as soon as I can. I also stream on Twitch every single day, so feel free to come by Twitch and ask me any of your questions there. Or if you simply want to come and hang out with other cuties and be a part of our community, I'd be more than happy to see you there as well. With that said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you here for tomorrow's reveal on some more new content.